Hello mathematicians, this video is going to help show you how to solve equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. Make sure you come back and watch this video as many times as you need to. Pause it if you need to slow down or if you're confused. Go back and watch concepts again, or fast forward if you already understand how to do something. Make sure you fill in your notes as you listen along. This way it will be a reference for you in case there's days you ever forget your headphones or if there's days that we don't have access to the video. So your goal by the end of this video is to make sure you're able to solve equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. Remember a key concept: in order to solve the equation, you must get the variable alone. So first things first, just when we're talking about how to solve equations, you need to move, and you'll completely understand what this looks like once you see an example. Our first step is you need to move your baby variable to the other side by doing the inverse operation. What I mean when I say baby variable, it's the variable with the smaller coefficient. So if I have 3x and 7x, my baby variable, or the variable with the smaller coefficient, would be 3x. Remember, your coefficient is the number in front of your variable. Just to review, if you have addition, the inverse or the opposite operation is subtraction. The inverse operation of subtraction is addition. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. And the inverse operation of division is multiplication. So after you move the baby variable to the mama, I'm going to say to the mama, you're going to move the smaller one to the bigger one using the inverse operation. What we're going to have to do, sorry about that, is get the numbers together by doing the inverse operation. You can get your variable on one side of the equal sign and the number on the other side of the equal sign. So you might remember from last year, you were presented with a two-step equation, 2x plus 1 equals 5. Remember, you're going to draw your line. We want to get our x alone, but what we have to do first is to move this plus 1. Remember, the opposite of plus 1, the opposite of addition, or the inverse, is subtraction. So I would subtract 1 not only on one side, but the other side. Our 1's on the left side would cancel. I'd be left with 2x equals 4. My last step here would be step 3, is to get your variable alone. So I would have to do my inverse operation. Remember, if I have 2x, it means 2 times x. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I have to divide each side by 2. My 2's would cancel. I'd be left with x equals 4 over 2, or 4 divided by 2 would give us 2. At the end, make sure you check your answer. If you check your answer, you know it will always be right. Our first example is 8x minus 4 equals 6x plus 2. My first step, I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. Remember, if you look back to the steps we just talked about, I need to move the baby variable to the mama. So if I look, my variables, I have 8x and 6x. The smaller variable is 6x. So in order to move right now, that's 6x. There's no sign in front. So if there's no sign in front, I'm going to assume it's a positive 6x. The opposite of a positive or of addition, the inverse is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. I'm going to draw my line. 6x minus 6x, those are going to cancel. On the right side, I'm left with 2. I'm still going to bring down my equal sign. 8x minus 6x, 8 minus 6 is 2. I'm going to bring down my x, and I'm going to bring down my minus 4. Now what we have is a two-step equation. So remember, I have to get rid of the subtraction first. Get rid of whatever is attached to the x, or to your variable. So in order to get rid of a minus 4, the inverse of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I'm going to draw my line. Minus 4 and plus 4, they cancel. That's the whole point that we did that. So I'm going to be left with 2x equals 2 plus 4 gives me 6. In order to solve for x now, I have to solve for x. It's 2 times x. In order to get x alone, I need to get I need to divide each side by 2. And we're in 8th grade, so I'm going to show division with a fraction line. 2x over 2 will cancel. I'm left with x equals 6 over 2, or 6 divided by 2, will give me 3. Our second example, 10x plus 4 equals 2x plus 6. First thing, I'm going to draw my line. I need to bring my baby variable to my mama variable. The variable that I have here is x. So I have 10x and 2x. My smaller variable is 2x. Right now, that's a positive 2x. In order to get rid of a positive or an addition of 2x, I have to subtract 2x from both sides. 10x minus 2x is going to give us 8x plus 4. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. 2x minus 2x, it's going to cancel out, and I'm going to be left with 6. Now I have a two-step equation. This should be something that you know how to do. I have 8x plus 4 equals 6. Remember, your goal is to get your variable alone. In order to do that, I need to move my plus 4. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Plus 4 and minus 4, they're going to cancel. I'm left with 8x. 6 minus 4 is going to give me 2. Don't forget to put your equal sign in between. I have 8x. 8 is attached to the x through multiplication. In order to undo or do the inverse of multiplication, which is division, so I have to divide each side by 8. My 8s will now cancel. I'm going to be left with x equals, I have x is equal to 2 over 8. Right? 2 divided by 8 is going to give us a decimal. I can leave it as a fraction, or I can convert it into a decimal, whichever one you feel comfortable with, or whatever it says in your answer. It might say in the question that you have to put it as a decimal. One thing I would always do to make it easier for yourself is I would simplify the fraction. So if I have 2 over 8, they're both even numbers, so they can be divided by 2. So I'd have x equals 1/4. Don't forget, I know I'm not doing it, but make sure when you're going to do your problems on your own that you do a check. Our last example, we have 11x minus 24 equals 3x plus 34. My first step, I'm going to draw my line. Do you remember what it is, that first thing we have to do? Look back at your notes if you don't remember. My first thing, I have to move the baby to the mama. So I'm going to move 3x over to the 11x. In order to move a 3x over, I have to subtract it from both sides. I have to keep it balanced. I'm going to draw my line. 11x minus 3x is going to give me 8x. I'm going to bring down my minus 24. On the right side of my equal sign, 3x minus 3x cancels. I'm left with 34. Now I have 8x minus 24 equals 34. In order to get my variable alone, I have to move minus 24 first. The opposite of subtraction, the inverse is addition. I'm going to add 24 not only to the left side, but to the right side. So I'm going to have 8x. Negative 24 plus 24 cancels. That's the whole point of adding 24 to both sides. I'll bring down my equal sign. 34 plus 24 is going to give me 58. Remember, 8 and x, when you have a number attached to a variable and there's no operation in between, it means multiplication. In order to get x alone, I need to divide each side by 8. My 8s on the left side will cancel. So I have x equals 58 over 8. What I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. Remember, in order to do that, our numerator, which is 58, is going to go as our dividend, or the number inside of your long division. Our denominator, which is 8, is going to become our divisor, the number outside. Remember, for long division, you have to figure out, you have to divide first. 8 goes into 58 7 times. My next step, I need to multiply. 8 times 7 gives me 56. My next step, I need to subtract. I'm left with 2. I need to check, is 2 smaller than 8? Yes. Next, I technically would bring down, but remember, if we're looking to get a mixed fraction, I do want to have a remainder there. So remember, you start with your quotient, you move to your remainder, and go to your divisor. So my answer is a mixed number, It's going to be 7 2/8. I would simplify 2/8, and I would get 7 1/4. I hope this video helped you understand how to solve equations with variables on both sides of your equal sign. Now your classwork that follows along with this video is on Khan Academy, equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. Make sure you use this video as a reference. That's why I made it for you. Please come back and watch it as often as you like.